welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings here and such. Yeah, who knows? Inmendham for now. Anyway, still. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, nothing. Yes, just very little advancement in my perspective. Yes, nothing brilliant. No new way to attack the problem of communicating with the human race. But I did discover something, so I might as well get that over with, since it's a little bit of useful news. Perhaps useful. You can do this thing in, well, now the browser's being a retard. So if you go to this, where it says the thumbs up and all that crap, and then you have this little save thing, and you hit these little dots, you can actually get the transcript of the video. Wow, that worked really well. You haven't submitted any contributions yet. I don't know why it did that. I guess it's not the right style of video. I mean, it's a music video or something. Let's see if there's a regular crappy video somewhere. This is a crappy one. Let's see. See if this one works. Open transcript. That's what you need. Okay. And it should open a transcript over here. That's what it should do. Alright, well, it did work. Yeah. Maybe it's down here somewhere. No, it's not down there. That's funny. Where do you go, YouTube? Anyway, it does seem to work, usually, mostly. It has worked in the past. So anyway, I did it on some of my videos and it worked. So that's all that matters, I suppose. I would hope. So it's just funny that it's not working now. Why is it not working? So it's this stupid video. It's not a video. It's some sort of pile of crap. So anyway, yeah, I don't have any of the videos open. That's just kind of funny. Comments. Yeah, that's where I was. You can go way over here, see if there's a video worth something here. Come on, video. Dissident science. Yeah, this is one of my videos. So let's see if this works. Open transcript. Nothing. I wonder. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it worked. Alright, so all that crap. Yeah, I mean 3 minutes just to. But anyway, so and get rid of the time codes in here. Yeah, so you can get rid of the timestamps if you want to. But it has the transcript, and you can copy and paste it and all that crap. I mean, you have to select the text. It says select all, but I don't know if it works. I mean, it seems to work, but see, it selects the whole page. So you can prevent that by starting at the beginning and then using the shift key and whatever. I guess I won't give you full instructions, but anyway, it's just interesting. You can get the transcripts. So, all these people griping about a book, that's the beginning of one anyway. I mean, there's probably, 7 sentences out of every video of mine. I was even thinking of doing something like that someday, but, it all takes time. Just take the best minute out of, 60 videos would be 60 minutes already, right? So it's kind of funny. I mean, just to think about thousands of videos, try and take a minute out of every one. I wonder how long a video that would be. But if you took the best of, it might make a pretty good video. So, I mean, all of this stuff is here. It's just that, it needs to be worked on a little bit, and everybody expects me to do all the work. So, and homie, don't play that, or whatever. Yeah, I'm old and tired. So yeah, it's not gonna happen. So I figure I'll read some comments and then I might get to some sort of subject. I mean, I was thinking about change and perspective, and how people evolve into their understanding. But and most people, towards the end, sort of recognize the bitter sweetness of their existence, and have some appreciation, some sense of humility about the dangers of it, and how it it just turns to shit so easily. But youth, just can't do that. They they can't understand it, and I don't know if they can't understand it. It's just that nobody spells it out well enough. There's just too many older folks who just don't want to sound like wimps, so they just pretend it. Oh yeah, it was all great. It's all worth it, when they know it wasn't. No, but they don't want to sound defeated or like losers, so they just pretend. And it's just irritating. So, some douche called Mark Garland, Google is God. So what do I do with that, Mark? What use is this shit? I mean, obviously Google's not God, so it doesn't mean anything as a literal statement. The whole point is Google's an advertising company, the biggest advertisement company in the world, and we're letting it run the internet, and essentially running Android. And why would a rational person think that's a good idea? Asshole. So, Catherine, nice. Gary, W-Y-A. I don't know what that means. I just can't do anything with that. Anyway, so keep speaking the truth. We are here. Well, you're not. So what? We are listening. Well, again, I don't know if that does any good either. I gotta convince the people who are unconvinced, not the people who are convinced. Fuck the community. Well, frankly, you have to work with it. You have to change it. You have to, it's all there is. And fuck the society. With lots of spaces. I don't know what they mean. But anyway. Fine, whatever. So then these Indonesia people are hilarious. So this guy's defending. He types the same comment on 2 different videos. So it is funny how much traffic the Indonesia sucks videos get. And obviously nobody literally watches the video. So at least this guy apparently did. You see, illegal drugs use in Indonesia must be punished. Yeah, but it shouldn't be a death penalty, idiot. You punish things, with fines and maybe some community service. It's not like it was murder or theft. If you can't recognize that you have to have some proportionality in your punishments, then you're sort of retarded. You need to follow the law. But I think you should not be punished for that long. But again, must be punished. Well, the whole point was he was punished for a trivial crime and put in a horrible prison and then killed. You don't have a defense for that, idiot. Ugh. Whatever. People are just so fucking stupid. Alright, so this was an interesting comment. I read it previously, I think. You're playing the same game. Fear, misery, consciousness, you're just a program. Yes, well, that's what I'm sort of pointing out. And where have I said otherwise? Yes, I'm the universe telling you the universe sucks. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm running the universe sucks record, and I'm playing it, and that's what I'm doing. Whatever you choose to place at the top of the hierarchy. So again, this idea that the hierarchy, that there's no difference between imbecile and what's a good thing for intelligence? I don't know, but rational, highly rational. That there's no difference between those two things. There's no difference between warm and cold or fat and thin. Of course there is. It's not what anybody places on a hierarchy. It's what deserves to be there, or what has earned being there. Lots of words like that. So if you're just these assholes who keep wanting to say, oh, there's no difference between anything and anything. No, there is a difference, and they're meaningful differences. All right. Anyway, hierarchy you create is a thing you choose to allocate. So again, you're choosing to allocate like what? Like I choose to recognize the difference between a rock and a bird as the queen on the chessboard of life. Again, the chess game is pretty much a mathematical game also. So it's, but there's a certain rationality to it. There's moves that will be guaranteed you'll lose. I mean, you could play the game really poorly, and it's very different than playing it very well. So what's your fucking idiotic point, idiot? You can be correct philosophically. Again, it's not really, you're like I said, I've said this before, but philosophy is really a subdivision of science. It's a science. It's collecting facts and seeing where facts point. I know you people all want to make this sound like it's just some sort of mushy bullshit, but it isn't. I don't know what the fuck that sound was. And be a game player at the same time. Again, another point I've already made 4 million times is that we're silly emotional animals that have intelligence, and it's always going to be a conflict between the selfish animal and the thing that knows, hey, I should be doing something important or useful. So I mean, that's always going to be a problem. I mean, as long as we are feeling animals, we're going to have that duality of having a brain that can understand, well, it's better if you did some hard work. It's better that you did something efficient, not something that's fun. And again, the animal's going to want to do the fun thing. You're also the shithead, menace, or blight. Now see, that's just so stupid. Now you can call me a shithead, that's fine, but menace and blight are real things. There's a real difference between an ear of corn and a bucket of blight. There's a real difference between somebody who goes out and picks garbage off the street and somebody who beats up his neighbors and steals his money. I mean, it's just stupid. So, you can say that shit, but I'm saying, no, that's shit. I'm not a menace. I'm not creating life. I'm not supporting pet ownership. I'm not doing all this crap, that causes the problem. So fuck you. You profess to hate. So just more of this crap, like there's no difference. There is a difference. People do have different carbon footprints, and they have different blood footprints. And it's a fact, asshole. They say good things. They say things to motivate people to be more cautious, or they say things to make people more reckless. It's a fact, asshole. Fucking asshole. Yeah, I don't like you. Placing fear, misery, or pointlessness. So, and what do you keep combining a bunch of different words for? They're different concepts. Why do you think they're all in the same category or something? God damn. I mean, they're very different. One thing, fear, okay, an emotion. Misery, sometimes that's just a physical fact. And pointlessness is a whole different, I mean, that category is so far away from the other two categories, you idiot. At the top of your hierarchy, well, where did I do that? I certainly didn't put pointlessness on my hierarchy. The words are kind of obvious, okay? You want to put words in my mouth, I have the words actually plastered right on the video, the important words. And I don't say things like pointlessness. I say things like efficiency, shithead. at the top of your hierarchy doesn't automatically remove you from the shithead pool. Well, it does a hell of a lot better than the asshole saying, just do it. Don't think, just do. Life's a journey, not a destination. Even though you will reach the destination of death. Anyway, you're just as guilty as everyone else. So another one of these fucking useless pieces of shit, fence-walking, mishy-mushy, waste of fucking goddamn space who can't tell the difference between fucking Dracula and Jimmy the Cricket. Fuck you, idiot. God damn. Anyway. Oh, I'll just block this guy for his name. George Soros Intelligence Network? I don't think so. You might want to look into PeerTube as an alternative to YouTube. Why? I already know how to publish my own videos. Publishing videos is not the problem, so I don't need to go to some back alley. Alright, I already know how to do an abortion in my own house. I don't need to go to the back alley abortionist. I mean, and it just ignores the subject. Let's not fix anything. Let's just pretend the non-solution it fixes it. You know, going on the having no exposure fixes it. It doesn't fix it. These are guaranteed monopoly kind of things, and it's either the monopoly is going to be owned by the people, or we're going to let advertising companies own the monopolies. But there's no way to get around. It's sort of a monopoly industry. You know, this crowd thing, where the crowd is. Crowds can't be everywhere. Duh. Alright, so, this is like an old Onision video. Oh my god, this fucking, Onision shit. God, he's such an idiot. Whatever. And a simp supporting feminism. Fucking douche. What's wrong with feminism, idiot? That guy with a weird icon, you know. Bicep and a weird head, and I don't know. I don't like him. Alright, Melissa Miller. Such a puss of an argument. Just delete my draft physics comments, coward. I read comments and then I delete the ones that are just overtly rude, redundant, or just fucking stupid. Damn. I mean, really, there's all this information in the world. If you cannot provide sourcing for your authority, then fuck you. Give me your... show me. If you can't make a video explaining something, then direct me to the video where it's explained correctly, so then I can go there and debunk the fuck out of it. What's so complicated about that? Yeah, I'm talking to the microphone. Millennial woes. Telling someone they need to cheer up is a bit like the world's fattest man telling someone they need to lose weight. I don't even remember that guy. So who cares? Oh, here's a long comment. Anyway, Tim Zilberger. I don't think that's a real name. Alright, anyway, the human race is an error of nature. It says, fine, everything's an error of nature. Nature can't do anything. Like, it can't not make errors because it can't know how to do anything that would actually be purposeful. Because, frankly, nothing could be. I mean, the only way it could be purposeful is that it creates an error that destroys one of its previous errors. But I mean, that's all there is. Anything that's good is really just eliminating bad. Alright. It is in our genes to be wrong. It's just stupid. As far as religion goes. Religion has nothing to do with genes. I mean, it's just, it's just a silly little popularity contest. and it's like culturally vogue, and that's all it's ever been. That's all it ever was. And the whole thing just really has to do with the fact that dumb people breed, and dumb people are more likely to be religious. Kind of there. That's why it's still around. Who would want to live for eternity? Well, it depends on the context, right? I mean, if it's eternity, and I'm playing my favorite video game, so to speak, in some kind of real way, and no harm comes to me, and I just, bang the chicks and have fun, then maybe I could do that for eternity. But who cares? Obviously, that's not the world we live in. Who would want to live for an eternity? That would be insanity. Well, yes, in this context of watching everybody die and all that kind of crap, yes, in this context, who would want to do that? That's really sadistic. Would be insanity, living with no end to it. Amazes me that this is like a very run-on sentence, that we all still exist with all the games we play. So again, I don't know what that means. I mean, clearly there is some jeopardy we're stepping into. So, I mean, we can say that, oh, well, it amazes me that we're getting away with it. But, this whole global warming thing, it might kick us in the ass a lot harder than people really, they say, oh, yeah, well, it get a little warmer, so what? But it could really get warmer. It could really get messy. There might just be a God we should be gone by now. This is all one sentence. Sorry, this is a little bit disconnected. I don't know why you're referencing God. I don't know what the point is. It's like something is always giving us more chances despite our actions, or it's just plain luck. Well, I mean, there's no luck here. I mean, we had these horrendous wars, horrible mayhem and, blight, and then we have a world where most of the people live in shit. We're not really getting away with anything, are we? I mean, there's a few of us getting away with it, okay, the privileged. But, the rest of humanity ain't getting away with anything. And the irony is they're too stupid to know they're paying the price. Alright, just plain luck. Humans and wealthy humans truly suck. I was never proud to be part of this race, actually. The only race on this planet is the race for the dollar. We are king vermin. The point is anything would be, any mammal put in our position would be an asshole. It's just the way it works, because all the mammals are basically governed by a similar mechanism, a herd or tribe or something like that, or else they're maniacally selfish, and that makes it even more dangerous. I mean, the loner's even more dangerous if you gave them power. Yes, the cockroaches of the universe, cloaked in our own fairy tales and brainwashed lies, for a small handful of fools that care nothing. Well, I mean, again, worrying about the little bit of inequity that exists isn't really, everybody gets theirs, okay? So let's just understand that nobody gets all. Well, yes, some people live a horrible, lousy, rotten, selfish life and then die easy. But we know that most people don't live that life. So commonsenses will show up. For us to keep eating poison food and electing toxic leaders, we are so dumbed down, stupefied. The only time to enjoy life was when I was a child. And that didn't last too long, frankly, for me, because I wasn't smart enough to be depressed about the world. The older I get, the more distant everything right seems. the more lonely you feel on this once beautiful planet. I suppose there were moments that we have turned into the ultimate shithole. Like, it was always a shithole. There was no, the sunsets are always a lie. Of the universe, it's a crying shame out of our hands at this point. It's no more out of our hands than it was at any point. Too far gone. Again, I don't know what that would reference. It's a mess now. It was a mess 200 years ago, and it was a mess 1,000 years ago. All of our bridges burned thanks to the ones that didn't care a fuck. You, humanity, you are a curse. Alright, so it's all one sentence. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Kind of down, aren't you? Like, you can sit there and do this, whatever. Well, it wasn't so bad in 1960 or 1970. Yeah, and I would say, yeah, it was a little better. But it was a little better. And there was still all kinds of crap going on. And it's just people were less aware of it, I think. So, but still, it's never good enough. You'll never be good enough. You'll never be able to justify, look, here's an icon of a cat. You probably can't see it, though. You can't justify one cat run over. None of there's nothing we're doing here that's worth any of the horror that's associated with it. What does Zunstar do for a living? Who cares? And what moral or intellectual standing does he have? Who cares about any of that crap? So that anyone should care about what he has to say. Well, you sound like you're obsessed with messengers. That's really dopey. His glibness is his most obvious characteristic. Yes, that's obvious in most popular people, is their glibness. And he's thoroughly unimpressive. Well, to you. Obviously, other people find these people impressive. It's clear that he hasn't suffered much, or that all of his life, or at all in his life, and that he doesn't work in the death-hunted profession. I don't know what that means. Death-haunted profession. In a death-haunted profession. Well, thankfully I didn't work in one of those either, but I don't think you need to have a little bit of respect for the horror. Let's see, we are not getting any better or wiser. Yes, it's true. Idiocracy is on the move. Alright, Big Pappy. Oh, I'm not going to like this. Wow, so many snowflakes terrified of Stefan. And he does these laughy faces. Terrified in what way? Beyond the fact that you make a response video, does that mean you're terrified? So everybody who makes a response to somebody else's comments is terrified. So every time you argue with somebody about feminism or something, it's because you're terrified. Just applying your own logic for the standard. Gotta try to smear him. How exactly I do that? Oh, that's right. You're not gonna respond to any of these inquiries. No, I didn't smear him with anything. I frickin' play his video. Yes, he talks, then I talk. It's fair, because he right. You know he right. Yeah, 3 exclamation points for you know he right. Yeah, brilliant, Pappy. The best way to serve people, serving people. That's what the aliens do. Is get government out of the way, right, and let the millionaires and the billionaires run things completely, and give people freedom to succeed. You mean inherit? Yes, that's all you mean. Freedom to inherit. You little Trumpy spawns. or fail on their own. Well, nobody has to do that in an inheritance society. Again, you know, there's 400, 500, 600-year-old fortunes still out there. You know, people living plush lives for never not doing a fucking thing, not earning a penny of it. You know, off slave labor and shit. Idiot. Ugh. Let's see. Verity McShay. Verity. It's kind of an interesting name. Girl and such. I'm new to this channel and late to the game, but I love you already, Gary. Oh, good. I've come to my own realizations about this place being a hellhole. A shithole, really, but yes. A cheese-chasing game we never win. Yes, it just... You get what you want, and then you're going to want something else. My question is, how do you know this and not be depressed? You're asking the wrong person. Yeah, no, you really, you know, you have to just go on vacation. You know, you go to work, and then you go on vacation. That kind of thing, you know. You just have to separate yourself, your life, and or something like that. But I mean, some of it you just can't avoid. I mean, you know, once you have an image in your head, you're stuck with it. It's like you know, there was some point in my life where I realized just how bad evolution was, and so I imagined a tree, you know, with blood dripping out of it, because that's all it really represents, is just all this carnage. And once you make those images, you know, you're just minding your own business, and oh, bloody tree pops into your head. So yeah, there's, you know, once you have those voices in your head, it's pretty hard to avoid them. LOL, Gary, you so funny. Great. And so intelligent that it's scary. So intelligent. So, I mean, you know, this is the scary part, is when people who don't seem very smart are pointing out that you're intelligent. You're saying, well, I don't know whether you can tell. That's the problem. So, you know, that's a point against me, not for me. Oh, all the crazy, stupid people think you're smart. Damn, that's not what I'm looking for. Well, you're going to get cursed by whatever this is. I don't know, in capital letters, and FYI, you're a lunatic. Oh, okay, some Indonesia crazy. What is a Gorny? I don't know. What the fuck? Great comment. I hate Indo. Oh, so it's more Indonesia shit. Let's jump ahead of that. Let's see. Oh, this is some kind of Thunderfoot video. Extremely insightful, lucid, and intelligence. Oh, good. As a neuroscientist, interesting. I'm not quite sure you are, but whatever. I find your explanation, which is linked to sound physics principles, better than I've heard anywhere else. Well, that's good. I don't know what video that was. Thunderfoot something or other. You are true. Well, you are not incredibly articulate. Oh, it's an Indonesia guy. Okay. What do you think of these guys? I don't care. This is the first time I've watched them. I don't know. I'm not going there. Yeah. Long time no see, man. Good to see you're still kicking the can. Whatever. If that's what you want to call it. Whether these sentiments are mine or the result of illness, I do not know. But I do know that, well or ill, I despise man's cowardice. I reject childish consolation and elusive comfort. Very poetic. And I am courageous enough to bear the deprivation of every hope, to look steadily on the desert of life, desert, the desert, to hide no part of our unhappiness. Well, I think there's no point in being a gloomy Gus about it all. So, yeah, I agree. I don't think anybody should whitewash it or try to, make it all okay, in some way. But I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can spend every moment saying I'm going to pay my sincere respect to the horror. That's like impossible to do. And to accept all the consequences of a philosophy, sorrowful but true. This philosophy, if of no other use, gives the courageous man a proud satisfaction of being able to rend asunder the cloak that conceals the hidden and mysterious cruelty of destiny. Now, it's all very nicely written anyway. Oh, so so that was a quote from somebody. Giacomo Leopardi, dialogue between Tertio and a friend. 1827. Well, that's not very long ago. So, thank you. Appreciate it. I probably should look this up or something. You've been brainwashed about 9/11, Gary. Yeah, sure I have. What a shame. You're only human. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, the mass conspiracy. Woo! Idiots. If I born in this country, I don't want to end like him. Okay, that's whatever. Let's see, you're off base when it comes to inheritance of small amounts like a few million. Well, where did I basically said, well, if you really have to be a cheater, okay. I'm not saying, I've already said it. Yes, I don't give a shit if that's what you need to do. I'm just saying that as long as you understand that, yes, let's just break this fortune thing. Legacy. If you can make something more out of that, then good for you, but compound interest over a lifetime certainly won't make it a billion. Well, I don't know. I mean, it used to be able to. But I mean, you do the stock market thing over the last 40 years, and yeah, you could make $1 million into $1 billion, shithead. So you're not even right. So fuck you. Well said. Whatever. Fuck my government. No, I don't really want to. Inmendham, what the fuck? A video chronology record of his descent into abject lethargy and psychosis. Yeah, well, you're not saying anything. I mean, couldn't I say that to anybody on Earth? Especially like women wearing culottes or something. I mean, it's just you're not making a point in some way about how, oh yeah, we're really not robots, or, we don't have essentially the same, we're dancing the same dance that cockroaches dance, So we're not doing anything special. Okay, I know my country poor, fuck that shit. 2 thummy ups. Okay, well, whatever. Even though I don't like Gary as a person, I still get his book he's writing. I'd still get. I think his philosophy is top of the game. Yeah, well, the game is so poor. Because really, this is just adding a few little facts, right? I mean, you add up like I said, you watch a little bit of life, and you see this horrible deserve has very little to do with it. The penalties are obscene. Okay, this really is tightrope walking. One little mistake, and yes, you're FUBAR. And to what? For what end is merely to satisfy an hunger imposed by a bunch of physiological, biological reactions, a bunch of little, nerve endings that get all twitchy. And nothing else. I mean, it's not any grander than that. It's just, we're sitting here, humping rocks. I mean, it's embarrassing. Anyway, Indonesia fucked up, blah, 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 do more of these. Yeah, I love when people say do more of these, and then, but there's like 17 people say don't do more of these. So, you can't make anything out of the general opinion. Alright, so that's it. That's all there is. Well, there's all that I'm looking for. That's enough, right? It was tedious and unpleasant. Whatever. Everything is tedious and unpleasant. So I'm sorry. I mean, I probably should have done a real video. Instead of bailing and doing comments. There just isn't much, not much useful conversation. And it's, there's no interactions to be had. Conversations about value. Guess I have to throw that word in here sooner or later. This whole how people value and what they value, how much they'll compromise to get what they want. This trivial ambition to I humped a few round boulders, and to have that. How much did I run over? How much carnage is there? And just to maintain your life, the biosphere bleeds. An insane amount of blood for every day's worth of oxygen, and the fact that people are just so just completely ignorant of it, and then even if they concede some element of it, they somehow think what they're doing is so special, and it's just so important that how could the universe exist without them humping the rock? The universe couldn't possibly mean anything without their little selfish ambitions. Just dismal. But it's just always some sort of trivial fable that people come up with, and that's all religion is, some trivial crap just to do the whitewashing, just to make the reality blurry. And so as long as they can make it a little bit blurry, then they don't have to deal with it. They don't have to accept it as the truth. They can just pretend everything's going to be alright as long as I get my bowl of mashed potatoes, or whatever they're after. The ambition, and again, the game never ends. It sort of is, so I was going to talk about change, just because there are periods in your life, and you go through these transitions, and there's periods of realization, and you're just like almost embarrassed. So when I realized how insanely stupid sports were, that it was basically a soap opera, and that I was just hooked on a soap opera, I was never a real fan, don't get me wrong. I didn't have to run home to go watch the game or something, but I would, just because there was nothing else on, I suppose, I would now and then watch some sporting event, and in some way or other give a shit about who won. Find some reason to care, and but then I thought about it, and I'm saying, there's, especially when the VCR came along and all this recorded stuff, and you're saying, why don't I just watch a game from 1972 or something? What's the difference? It's the same bullshit, right? And the only difference is the soap opera, right? That's an old soap opera. I already know how it comes out. It's, blah, 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 blah. But that's all it is. It's just a soap opera, and then it's embarrassing when you think that, oh, you mean I had my brain engaged in an activity that was that useless? I mean, that's just worse than, masturbating in some sort of weird way or something. It's like getting, you're just catching yourself doing something. Ooh, that's embarrassing. And so that's what I was sort of thinking about in terms of the changes that come, in your life, where there's these little moments where you have this little bit of insight and you say, oh, and there's no way to imagine ever going back. It's like, yeah, it's just no way. There's no way you can undo it. So it's sort of like the learning that 2 + 2 = 4, and it's like, yeah, you'll never make any other number work. They just won't fit there anymore. And so that's sort of what life experience does to you. It just keeps narrowing your options, just because you start collecting facts, and they start pointing in all kinds of things that you should have been obvious. And it's only because we are so poorly trained, so poorly introduced to our life. Parents are such despicable liars, and there's so much just constant lying to their kids, constant bullshit, to pretend to make it all make some sense somehow. Little fake stories about little Cinderella, and everything's gonna work out. Oh, you'll find your little Prince Charming, and all this little bullshit. And that's not how life works. And and so it takes us a while to acquire, to find the little Rosetta Stones of experience that translate all the other experiences, and it kind of just makes it all, oh, that's what I was doing. I was being a programmed asshole. So you have to have those words, the vocabulary, like the word programmed. It would have been just very helpful when I was a kid. Somebody would just explain that every experience you're having is just programming you. You have a good experience, you have a bad experience doing something. It's completely unique to your personal little adventure. Something dumb happens. You hit your head on a bar because it's a little bit too low, and and it just ruins the experience. And somebody else doesn't hit the bar and they have fun, and so we end up with different opinions about stuff, just because we have these little subtle changes in our interactions with the world. And that's all life's going to be made out of, is crap like that. And then underlying it is a truth that you're just a machine that's been programmed by what poked you, what buttons were pushed, and you're just going to act out based on who you've seen, who you mimic, who you're copying, what you've been exposed to in terms of creative potential. Your creative potential is going to be made out of how much training you've had, or how much exposure you've had, or what museums you went to, or all that stuff's going to dictate even the range of your creativity, if you had any such thing. The ingredients are going to dictate the stupid muffin that is your life. And that would have been so valuable to hear, when I was 7 or 8 years old. Just to be able to grapple with all the conflicting thoughts and the confusion about what my role here was. But anyway, so that's just a big subject. The context of how we are being pushed through this mechanism of human maturation. So we're not only living our own little personal maturation, but there's also this force of information and knowledge that's also in this sausage tube. We're just a piece of the gristle. But every little piece of gristle matters in terms of the evolution of the bigger organism of humanity and its memes. I would still think that in the end, humans will get smarter if they have time to get smarter. That's the way it would go, the direction, just because more information is just going to make things more and more obvious. But currently we're just stuck in this idiot period, and maybe there'll be an enlightenment, that does happen in periods in human history where there's a little acceleration in the intelligent pursuits. I don't know, and some sort of reverence for getting the right answers, not the convenient answers, that kind of mush. And so I think it's a good context for the conversation is to recognize that it's just arrangements of experience, arrangements of knowledge, information, and we're just each a package of a bucket, a different bucket that has different shit in it. And unlike what some people think, some buckets are a lot shittier than others. Something like that anyway. So anyway, I'm sorry, this video, like I said, just wasn't it's always yes, whatever. I'm going to be doing something interesting soon, no doubt. Different, maybe. I don't know. Like I have ideas, but I just can't convert anything. There's always something gets in the way, some distraction. So yeah. So till the next time and such. I think that's enough, really. I mean, I could pad it out for another couple of minutes, no doubt. But I don't think there's anything else horribly relevant. Try to make do something. Maybe I'll do a live room on Christmas or something, or some kind of bullshit. See how it goes. Oh, that's right, I can't do it. I'd have to do it on the Draft Physics channel or something. Or some other channel. Yeah. So I can't really do live stuff on the website, I don't think. Yeah. They had that for a while where you could use the browser to... Well, anyway. But yeah, I don't know if it ever really worked. Yeah. So what else could I do? Well, yeah, I could just do it on some other channel. Or maybe I'll do physics for Christmas. But anyway. But maybe I'll just make maybe I'll make a video. An interesting Christmas video of some kind. Yeah, it won't have anything to do with Christmas, but I mean, yeah. Anyway, I guess there's no point in me saying I'll do something because I just have no idea what's, who knows. I don't know. That's the important one. I really don't know what. It's all, whatever. Yeah, change. I'm having to do this changing thing. I don't really like it in so many ways. Lots of changes. So that's probably enough now. I've dragged it out. Well, might as well get to 55 minutes, right? Might as well, right? I mean, it's only costing you another 30 seconds of your life. Let's see. Can I do something interesting to make it worth it? No. Yeah. Sorry, so I'm just going to waste 20 seconds more of your life. I probably shouldn't do that. It's kind of rude. Yeah. See, if I was a more thoughtful person, I would have just said, no, that's stupid, don't do that. I mean, that's what the program, the SMART program, was saying that, and I just wasn't paying any attention. But yeah, that's just rude, wasting minutes of your life. So, till the next time, whenever that will be, and such, and so forth, and whatnot. I could wait and see what the next image is. Oh, jeez, baggy pants. Never mind. All right, so till next time.